Welcome to the Jeremy Hill Show. Ladies and gentlemen, have you ever seen a man who has had his soul crushed? Have you ever seen a man who is brought to tears simply because of the images and the things that he is seeing in the black community? Well, I have a clip of an older gentleman who is breaking down in tears pretty much, explaining his grief about how the children and the young men and the young ladies are acting within the black community that are coming from single parent homes, single parent black mother homes. Now, what I'm going to do is first say that this video is designed for educational purposes to teach my point of view, and I'm using everything within this video for fair use, and I'm going to be providing my commentary. Now, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the subject matter.
I'm so disgusted. There has never been a time in my life where I was ever ashamed of being a black man. No matter how bad things got, I thank God every day for making me a black man. I don't feel that way anymore. I don't feel that way anymore. We're not even raising children. We're raising animals. Animals. And we feed them and we encourage them and we sanction their behaviors. And we can't see what's going on here.
Okay, gentlemen, what I'm about to do, I agree with everything that this man is going to say in the video as you watch it. There's only one thing I don't agree with, but I'm agreeing with what he said right there. So what I'm going to do is put up some facts, data, and statistics about the children, okay, that's being raised by the single parent black mother. Let's put this on the screen first. Which race has the most fatherless children? 57.6% of black children, 31.2% of Hispanic children, and 20.7% of white children are living absent their biological fathers. Over half of the black community have children where fathers are absent within the home. I'm gonna put this on the screen as well. 72% of juvenile murderers and 60% of rapists come from single mother homes. It also provides where this source is coming from. Chuck Colson, How Shall We Live, from the Tyndall House 2004 publication on page 323. Now, these things are coming from the Brookings Institute as well. And put this on the screen. 37% of single mothers are divorced, 41% never married, and only 6.5% are widows. Brookings Institute, Assessing the Impact of Welfare Reform on Single Mothers, Part 2. The strongest predictor of whether a person will end up in prison is that they were raised by a single parent. That's coming from C.C. Harper and S.S. McLennan, Father Absence and Youth Incarceration. These are publications that you can look up for yourself. Put this up there. 2/3 of all children murdered are murdered by their mother. The source, U.S. Department of H&HS website, Child Abuse Statistics by Relationship. Before I read the rest of it, let me say the reason why children are murdered by their mother, because a lot of black women who become mothers are not prepared or mentally developed enough to raise children. This is why you find women who abandon their children in front of a grocery store, hide behind a trash can, murder their own children, because they were not mentally mature enough to even have a child. They were just having sex and got pregnant, and the stresses of life, the thing where they can't go out and run the streets like how they want to. They can no longer live a single life because they have a little child, another life that they have to be responsible for. And the pookie that they chose to sleep with doesn't want to take care of the child. So some women choose to delete their children because of this. Now let me continue reading this. Girls raised without fathers are more sexually promiscuous and more likely to end up divorced. That comes from Wade Horn, Why There Is No Substitute for Parents, which was published in 1997. 70% of teen births occur to girls in single mother homes. That comes from David T. Lykin, who wrote Reconstructing Fathers, that was published, or they don't tell me when they published on that one. And let me put this up there. Growing up without a father could permanently alter the structure of the brain and produce more children who are more aggressive and angry. Children brought up only by a single mother have a higher risk of developing deviant behavior, including drug abuse. This is new research suggested by Dr. Gabriella Gabi, and she wrote a book talking about Center for Addiction and Mental Health. You can look these things up for yourself. Now, let me go back and play the video. I just want you to understand how detrimental it can be, ladies, to have a child without properly vetting the men that you're with, because you are making these monsters that this man is talking about. You are creating these animals that this man is talking about. How is it your fault? Because a lot of you women are trying to prevent decent men from seeing their children. You won't let your baby daddy, so to speak, come see your child because he has moved on to another woman, or because you just want to hurt him, or he isn't doing something that you would like for him to do. And you are producing these type of children that is breaking this older black man's heart. Let's play the rest of the video.
I have a change jar in my house. Every day, I take the change out my pocket and I put it in that jar. When I go dump it in the machine, it's a couple of $100. Every day, I wake up in the morning and Philadelphia News tells me that at least 5 people have been shot overnight, black people, and at least 2 of them are dead. Every day. Every day. Equate that to my change jar and think about it. If we're killing 2 of our own people every day in Philadelphia, 2 of our own people every week in Asbury Park, 2 of our own people every day in Washington, D.C., 2 of our own people every day in Chicago, what are we doing? Genocide. Genocide. We have got to be the greatest source of entertainment on this planet. Every other race of people have to be looking at us and saying, Lord, have mercy. I pray to God that my people never become that pathetic. We're destroying ourselves.
Facts.
We're destroying ourselves.
Facts.
Those of us that are not dying are going to jail. The ones that are successful are marrying white people.
Okay, I agree with everything he said up to that point. I do know why he says what he said about black men are marrying white people. I'm gonna pull up some clips. I mean, not clips, but some data. That's not really true. The only reason why a lot of us we say things like that. We say that black men are marrying white women all the time. That's not true. The only reason why we believe that because we see the TV, we see the things that come across the television. You see a lot of celebrities marrying outside of their race with white women and whatnot. But that's not how it is. I go outside and I think Houston is like the second or third largest city, and majority of the time, men who are married that are black, they marry within their own racial demographic. They're not trying to step outside the race. Now, black men will sleep with different women of different culture, different races, yeah, but majority of the time, I don't see that out here. But I am in the South. I see mostly black people with maybe Hispanics, every now and then a white person maybe, but majority of the time, it's black with black. But let me put the numbers up to show you what I'm saying. Now, this comes from blackdemographic.com. Now, it says that this was taken in 2021. It says that married black men, out of 100% of black men who marry, 85 of them have black wives. Now, only 8% out of that 100%, 8% marry white women. So that is not true. The only reason why you think we're marrying so many different white women is because what you see on television. You see these other guys like, what's the name? Kanye West, Kim Kardashian, DC Young Fly. You see all these different things, but those are celebrities, and that's a very small percentage. Majority of black men want to be with a black woman. Even at the bottom of that, you see it says married black women. Okay, out of 100% of black women, 93% have a black husband. You see it on the screen? So it isn't true. Don't let the media fool you and deceive you into thinking things to be true when they actually are not. Now, let me also put this up here as well. Some more proof, some more facts, data, and statistics. It says on the screen, it is also believed that a significant percentage of black men marry white women. This is often cited as one of the causes of lower marriage rates among black women. This, however, is only partially true. While black men marry white women at twice the rate that black women marry white men, in 2021, only 15% of married black men were married to non-black women, which is unchanged from 2017, but up from 11% in 2010 and 8% in 2000. About 8% of married black men were married to white women in 2021, and 4% were married to Hispanic women. So basically, both of those facts correlate with each other. So don't believe the hype. Black men are not marrying white women. And that's one of the things you hear a lot from black women. And there's nothing wrong with marrying outside of your race. I have no issue with interracial marriage. I have no problem with white women. None of that. I just want the truth to be told and the facts to be made known. Now let's go ahead and continue with the rest of the video because I pretty much agree with everything else that he is saying in this video.
So you have a bunch of us killing ourselves. You're locking the rest of us up. And the others are marrying out of the race and having mixed children who will marry white women and have less mixed children who will marry white women and men and erase your behind. And all we do is get balloons and pictures and make murals. And we think that we are celebrating somebody. What we're doing is advertising our ignorance. What we're doing is encouraging our own self-destruction. Where are the adults that are raising these children?
It goes back to what I said in the beginning. Most of these so-called adults are single parent mothers. And the men, whoever they choose to be with, if they're decent men, they're trying to see their children, but these wicked women are preventing them from doing so. Or men might be dead, or the men might be incarcerated. Again, it comes down to that woman's choice.
Right? Today, I just got back from Home Depot. While I'm in the car, my wife gets a call that some young boys was looking for another young boy, couldn't find him, so they killed his mother.
That is insane, but it happens all the time, especially in Houston, Texas. I could turn on the news right now, and I promise you there's going to be 5 or 6 people that got shot. 2 or 3 might be dead out of the shooting. I can promise you, all over each side of Houston. He's not lying. Though he's from a different place, it's the same thing out here in the Houston area. See, the thing is, Black people, in my most humble opinion, no longer value life. We celebrate the respect or the honor that comes after death, such as putting somebody's face on a t-shirt, selling barbecue plates to help make money or get money to have enough to bury them. Because, Black folks don't think about life insurance or think about what happens after death and their death become a burden on other people. So now they got to try to bury them and get money any kind of way they possibly can. We don't respect life no more. This is why we're able to shoot people like we never had before. This is why the murder rate is so high from city to city. This is why it's us, because we're not being taught how to love anyone. We're taught how to be jealous. We're taught how to compete. The women are taught to be a woman who chases the bag and not to put morals over getting the bag. Just get the bag, no matter what it costs you. It doesn't matter who you sleep with. It doesn't matter what you do to get that bag. But you don't teach any wholesome principles to your children. This is why many of your children, ladies, this is why many of your children, daughters and sons, are incarcerated, facing time, going to prison, on drugs, getting pregnant at an early age because of this.
We're damn animals. Animals. Nobody has to do anything else to us because we're doing it to ourselves. For God's sake. For God's sake. The greatest people on the earth has turned into animals, barbaric animals. Every situation calls for a gun. You know what your children are doing. You know. You can't tell me you don't know because you see who they're hanging out with and what their goals are in life.
Facts. See, single parent black mothers need to have the men in the household because a lot of these women are not strong enough to stop their children from hanging with the wrong crowd. They may try to punish them, they may talk crazy to them, but you need that real masculine frame, that real masculine man to come in and lay the law and put the law down to stop that, especially if you're raising boys.
And you sanction that crap and you allow it. And we're destroying ourselves. Genocide. Genocide. I'm so ashamed. I am so ashamed to be a black man today. Because I came from a time when black men were real men. I come from a time where no matter what our situations were, we took care of each other.
Facts.
I come from a time when I could say it loud. Yeah, I was black and I was proud. Not anymore. Not, I am the ignorance in my people.
I had to cut off, but he's 100% right, man. What he's feeling is what every black man and every black woman should be feeling today. Shame. We should be ashamed of the behaviors that we are seeing in our community, where women can go into a decent restaurant, a family restaurant, and then out of nowhere begin twerking, get on top of tables and stuff and start twerking and popping coochie and shaking their nasty behinds in front of children, in front of married people, in front of people who are just going there trying to have a good romantic evening, and then you just come in acting like, as he says, an animal, barbaric. Who can disagree with that man's opinion?
Not anymore. Not anymore. I am so ashamed of the ignorance in my people, the will and the ability to destroy each other and think that that's really doing something. You better get a grip and realize who the real enemy is. You better get a grip and realize who has conditioned you to do what you're doing to your own people. Genocide. Please stop. Please. I'm asking parents, talk to your children. I'm asking brothers that got more sense than the ignorance out here to please do something other. Do something other than paint people's pictures on your t-shirt and go to their funerals. Do something other than rest in peace on Facebook and never forgotten. We're destroying ourselves. And the rest of the world is just watching and applauding you because you're doing such a good job. There are more black men and women dying on the streets than died in the Vietnam War.
He telling the truth. He is telling the truth. The enemy now, man, is really us. We are in our own way. And when you see channels like mine pop up and tell you that our women need to address the problems that they are having, that we need to find a way to interact with each other in a more civilized way, that we need to love each other. When you see a channel like mine that points out and highlights all of the immoral behavior that we see from our black women. And this is not a bashing channel. I am not talking bad about black women. I love black women. I'm just pointing out inconsistencies. I'm just pointing out certain behaviors that is affecting our communities. So I want black women to rise. I want black men to rise. I want all men and women of every color to rise. But we have to first rise above our mindsets. Our mindsets are destructive.
We are at war with ourselves.
Facts.
How sad is that? Please, let's do something. We're going to destroy ourselves. We're going to be erased from this planet by our own hand. I pray to God that somebody listens to me today.
To me, that was a tear jerker. That was a powerful message that black man had. And my heart goes out to him. Because he came from that era of Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, and all the rest of them, you know what I'm saying? The people that help us get to where we at today. The marches, the fights, the riots, and stuff like that. We are standing on the shoulders of our elders, and they are standing on the shoulders of their ancestors. They fought. Our elders and our ancestors fought for us as a people to be where we are today. But look at how we are mismanaging the freedoms and the liberties that we have gotten from their sweat, from their blood, from their deaths, from their sacrifices. And you know, one of the reasons why we don't appreciate it is because it was given to us. We didn't have to work for it. We didn't have to earn it. It's like we are spoiled. And when we don't have a strong sense of family, because a community is only as strong as the nuclear family unit, if that's the right term, our families are destroyed. Well, anyway, I thought this was a pretty good message. Tell me what you think. Give me your opinion, ladies and gentlemen, about what you think about that gentleman said. He said he's ashamed of being a black person, ashamed of being a black man because of the behavior that black people are displaying in the streets. And most importantly, because the single black mothers are raising the pookies and the ones that he's talking about. Anyway, get at me. Talk to you later.